Hello, and welcome everyone to another RSC broadcast. We are bringing you some great Rocket League today. I am Alligator, and I have the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Sir Win a lot with me. How are you doing today, my friend?
I am ready. We've had some amazing play-ins, and we continue today, and we can only hope to see more amazing plays, more amazing talent, and maybe some 0-second goals again. It does get us excited in the booth here, doesn't it, Alligator?
No, it most certainly does, and I believe most of our players are ready to go, so we will start this match. We'll try to get it started as soon as possible. Of course, we have Fearless Echo against Tartarus here in, like you said, the play-in round one. It's going to be a best of 5. A little bit of context information on these two prospect teams. Of course, we know they made the playoff. Fearless Echo was 6th in the Glacies Conference, and Tartarus was 5th in the Ignis Conference, so a little bit above that. And the winner of this game will play Caro. I believe right after this game. I don't know if it will be on stream or not. I believe it will be here on this same channel. Caro, it was a team in the same Glacies Conference as Fearless Echo was, but they were 4th, so they got that first round bye-ish. It was not directly into the playoffs, but it was a round deeper into the play-ins, and that advantage might come into play, but we will not see that until later. For the moment, two teams from the Fearless and the Hades franchises. I have to ask you, sir, who do you think is going to win this series, and what do you think the scoreline is going to be?
Kind of hard to go against Echo right now. I don't know what it is. However, we'll go with a 3-2.
Okay. I am going to say, actually, I think it's going to be a 3-1 in favor of Fearless Echo. I think they will be hungry to claim victory here to try to get that rematch against Caro, maybe one-up them, their conference rivals. But like you said, it's certainly going to be hotly contested. Anything specific that you are looking at? Anything that you want to see out of these players?
I want to see the ability to start using the demo as soon as they feel they're being outpaced. I feel like it's an underused ability in Rocket League, and to bring the physical play into this won't be a problem. We'll see if they can start hitting other teams through their rotations, but I think we're ready to go here.
There we go. Ready, locked, and loaded. The players, speaking of loading, will be getting into this pitch, into this field of play very, very, very soon. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. We need the last one. Where is the 6th? There it is. Everyone is on the field. Our first 5 minutes of play start here. It's going to be Fearless Echo on the blue, at least on our side, and Tartarus on the orange. So if we talk about either of those two colors, you know who it is. And Boyo already trying to test that orange net of Tartarus, but saved very easily.
It's a big opportunity at the beginning. It's a good save off the backboard defense. It's going to be back up there, and Fearless gets a chance to take a touchdown into his own corner, gets the boost. It is not over yet, though, because the pressure is still mounting. It could be something here. If they don't organize themselves out of this little mishap, there could be a goal. It's coming. Here comes Buckets. That's a great save. We already have some early pressure going on here.
Yeah, Tartarus, they certainly don't want to give that space to Fearless Echo, because like you said, they are, I think, the team to beat in this series. They are the ones with the reputation. Of course, Fearless in general, as a franchise, we know their history, we know their track record in all tiers, and they can get hot at any moment. Tartarus are exactly looking to deny that, and the offense is the best way to do it, but they haven't been able to find the price for their efforts, if you will. And when you let this defense grow strong, you open it to the counterattack opportunities like that one that was saved by buckets, and eventually the goal might come. So Tartarus, I think they're going to need to find some magic here if they don't want to go down in game 1.
Well, they're the big those are the two demos we talked about. Going through the rotation, taking out teams with you, that could really open up some space, and it's too bad they couldn't take advantage right there. But they do still have pressure. It's going to be on net. A good save. Wow, that really heated up for a second. Another big wait, what? Somehow he doesn't get down. That one looked a little different, didn't it?
Oh, but most certainly, this is the game that we play. This is the game that we love, I guess. The demo angle, it's supposed to be, I think it's a 45-degree angle that you get credited with the demo. If it's a frontal collision, both people get demoed, but so that, I don't know. It's just complicated, but you know what's not complicated? All these shots from Fearless Detach, getting that latest one, the Deadly Dom being the one called into the defense, the one being called to answer for the save. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. This gameplay is so captivating, so enthralling, and the save from Detach onto the shot from Buckets. Tartarus, they certainly want a piece of the pie, but Fearless Echo, they want the whole pie, and it is so hotly contested right now. My mind is not working anymore, I can tell you that.
It's an infectious thing when you start playing Rocket League, any competitive game. If you're like me, the mind goes out the window immediately. Hopefully our players are doing a bit better than we are here in the booth, but that's why we're up in the booth and not on the field, right?
Yeah, certainly interesting tactics with those passes. Tartarus, I could see the confusion in their car movement. They didn't want to commit to that one. Maybe it was a trap play. It didn't seem like it was. It was more of a misplay from Fearless Echo, but of course the defense on the orange side did not realize that. And now, is it going to cost them? No!
It's not in! Oh my goodness, a moment of pandemonium on the goal line has us all holding our breath as they go back the other way, starting to counterattack. That's as close as they've come. And it seems like the brick wall of defending is going to be it. No, it's a save again. What can we do here, Alligator? What are they going to have to do to put one in the back of the net here?
Just a tiny bit more power would have made the goal there, but it was going so slow that Buckets was able to take it out. That was one of the shots of all time and one of the saves of all time. That's for sure going to be on the Twitter highlights, or at least I hope it is, because people deserve to know about that if they are not watching this game live. But maybe this opportunity is open. No, it is not. And going into the last minute of play, it is almost guaranteed to be overtime here, it feels like, doesn't it?
I hate saying it too early, but I love calling it. I'm thinking overtime's got it in the cards. Only one goal is going to separate these guys, and I think whoever scores the next one wins.
I think this could be the lowest scoring series that we have ever seen in RSC if this keeps going like this, because I wouldn't be surprised not only that game 1 was a 1-goal game, but if game 2 and game 3 we end up getting a sweep with only 3 goals, I mean, that would be something for the record books. But Deadly Dom gets the demo buckets, wanted to break that parity with 30 seconds remaining. It is neck and neck, but Tartarus have shown a bit more offensive presence, but maybe that's what's going to cost them. No, Buckets gets the demo and the save.
Yeah, and it looks to me like the defense have just tightened up here, and it's going to come down to one mistake. Who's going to make the mistake first, or maybe a moment of brilliance, but with 10 seconds left, we all know what can happen. Heartbreak City is about to come. It's off! The follow-up's not in! Oh my god, Alligator! It's as close as they've come. This is the most exciting 0-0 game we've ever seen.
Most certainly is, and there it is, overtime as we predicted. I feel like Fearless Echo have had the closer chances, you know, that one that almost ruled it, obviously, and then that one that hits the crossbar. They've had another couple of them, but the better offense has been that of Tartarus. They've had multiple shots, multiple demos, not exactly goal line demos, but it all doesn't matter. Is that it's going to no? What is this?
But then this is it.
Hey!
Oh my goodness, what an emotional roller coaster that was.
Oh, that was something. I don't even know. what to say. I guess that's how overtimes end, right? You get 5 minutes with absolutely no goals, the strongest action, the most exciting action on the field, and then overtime just ends in what was that, like 12 seconds, maybe
Hardly, yeah.
more. It's just the way this game goes, right?
It is. Well, we had to have a goal eventually, and we did find one, and Echo finds themselves up 1-0 in the series after winning the first game 1-0. And you gotta wonder if it's gonna be this tight. But we had a lot of close chances, Alligator. You gotta imagine some of those start to go in. We have some higher scoring games.
Yeah, exactly. But the question right now that I have is, how do the teams recover from this game? Because it must have been exhausting, right? All those chances that were missed, for Tartarus not being able to put it through and then getting defeated in overtime. There were some good saves from Fearless Echo as well. The momentum is certainly on their side, but it is just the smallest, the tiniest bit of momentum, right? Because they weren't clearly the dominant force in game one. They did not have a supreme advantage. It was just one moment, one demo right there at the end. Yes, it was Fearless Echo that won, but it could have easily been Tartarus. Now, they are going to need this game because this is not like regular season. This is best of 5, not a 4-game series. It is whoever wins 3 games first progresses onto the next round, and because this is play-ins, it will be elimination completely for whoever loses. And if Tartarus are not able to win this game number 2, they will need to reverse sweep, and we all know how hard that is.
It's such a difficult thing to do, especially with how tight the games are. You're going to have to get onto this ball quick, and you're going to have to take your opportunities. I think they can do it, though. If there's any team that can, it's these guys. Off the post! Off the other post! Oh, my goodness! Coast to coast like butter on toast! They have absolutely been just absolutely denied there, and it's a lie if you said that these guys have not starting to feel frustrated. I would be. It's hard not to, but as a good team captain, you'd have to be on the boys in the voice chat and be saying, hey, everyone keep a calm head. Let's find one.
It happens, you know, such is life, and now Detach has...
Oh, no. Heartbreak.
Is going to put it in. Heartbreaking, like you said, but that was a good play from Fearless Echo. The backboard pass from Detach, knows he can't put it on target, so just leaves it, calls, hey, this is going to be a pass, and Boyo just tucks it in. No defense. Fearless Echo, now they're starting to gain momentum.
They are. That's a huge demo to start off this next kickoff, and that ball's going to be pinged all the way off the back post here. Can anybody get there first? It's going to be Boyani, and they are all the way back out now, holding the half line. It gets off the half wall, and here comes a demo off the side, and it's going to get the bump. It's going to be in, and those are the plays that rank you up. Those are the plays that win you championships. It's not always about the glamour. This can work too. Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, the physical play. I love to see it. I'm always a fan of team is losing or not exactly finding success, especially when the defense is strong, which has been the case for these two teams. You got to find those demos, you got to find those bombs, and Fearless Echo were able to do exactly that. I don't know if this player is TX, Texas, but certainly a player to look at. 2 goals in the series, now 1 in the previous overtime, 1 here in game number 2, and another counterattack opportunity. Tex getting a great 50. Boyoni with a long clear as well, has a goal to his name, of course. Had the first one, now is looking for a demo after the bump, and able to get the second goal. Is that going to be another one? No, Tex is denied by Limb Noodle. And Tartarus are starting to feel the pressure. They have their backs against the wall. That, it seems, does not faze them. They got to get their offense going, and that's exactly what they're doing.
They're very, I have to say, Echo's doing a great job of holding their corners, not overcommitting in the corners. They're being very patient on defense, but still quick to the ball, very organized. Love to see it. However, if they are going to stay in this series, they need to score one on Echo right now, because that time is already starting to tick. And you know, it's not easy to come down from 2-0 in a series, let alone a game.
Yeah, and we saw some physical play in the first game from Tartarus, but it really hasn't been there. Whereas for Fearless Echo, it has only ramped up. Now they're going for more demos. They're going for bombs. I think maybe scoring that second goal off of a bump showed them what they can do, but Boyoni says no more bumps. I want the individual play. Denied by Limp Noodle, though. Tartarus, I think they have the defense on lock, and unless the bumps and the demos come through, they're strong on that front. It's just that their offense, they haven't been able to get anything through.
I agree. It's just been a bit slow on the counterattack, if that's what they're trying to do. The ball just keep being put right back into their end, and they aren't getting boost possession on that half line as well. So they do get out, and they're losing the midline boost, and it doesn't seem like it's helping them. It's not. Right then again, only one of them had boost, and the midline boost was taken already on the way out. So they had to just have to try and get up there, but that is a short angle shot. Really well done, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and you can see who the tip of the spear is for the attack. They're not quite leading the scoreboard, but Tex, 2 goals to their name, absolute mechanical menace, it looks like. And now Tartarus, they feel like this game is starting to slip. 90 seconds remaining, and that might be their first demo of the game, at least the first intentional one, which does not bode well for them at all. They have to come back from a 3-goal deficit. Maybe this is a start. No, Boyoni, when given time to go back in, the defense will get that save 100% of the time. The counterattack opportunity might have been there for Fearless Echo, but they're not able to get it through. Tartarus, I just never get tired of saying it. They have good defense, they have good midfield play. It's just that their attack is simply non-existent, and whatever they get is just so weak. It just doesn't have any power. But Caster's Curse, of course, is going to come through. The defensive mistake 4-0 for Fearless Echo. This might just be a 2-0.
Yeah, it looks like he had the squishy there. Just timed it a bit early, and to second your point, their offense, they've actually missed a couple of open nets. I mean, they're from the half line, but there's no one in net. All they have to do is put it on net. Free open shot. They've hit the crossbar. They've got off the side of the post. Could be a very much different game if they just score some of these chances like they're just missing there. So, you know, this is when I say that the reverse sweep is possible. If those start dropping for them, this game is a lot different. So we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, the most important thing right now, though, is they can't think about the reverse sweep. They have to reset their mental. They have to think, okay, we can do this, but not think that they have to reverse sweep, because if they get that big task in their heads, it will put a lot of pressure on them. And this absolute beating that they are receiving in game number 2, 4-0, could be more, is going to weigh big on their minds if they start getting in their own heads. But maybe, they could have gotten goal for the road. That was what I was going to say. It could be the ideal situation for them. At least know that you can score the goal. It would have been an open net here, but the time was just running too low. And 2-0 for Fearless Echo, who are looking to deny both their predictions and sweep this series to advance for a rematch against Caro in the second round of the play-ins.
It's hard to go into game 3 without scoring a goal yet. That's definitely going to be on their mind. You'd imagine if they get one, they start to pour in a little bit, but if they're gonna win games, you know what you got to do? You got to score goals. So I'm not trying to be a prophet here. I'm just saying, okay? But they really aren't playing that poorly, Alligator. They just aren't having the final piece. And that's why teams pay the big bucks for finishers, because you do need to score goals. You do. And I hope they can get on the board in this third game and make something of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that just reminds me, I've been watching some anime these past few days. Blue Lock. I'm a bit behind the trend. But, you know, it's not great as a football anime, and I disagree very heavily with a lot of the things that are said there. But it was exactly the point that you brought up, which I do agree with. You need the tip of the spear. You need the finisher. You need that ultimate striker, if you will, that just puts your team above and beyond. We've seen it in the RLCS teams. Vitality, it has Zen, it has that X Factor. Other teams, FaZe has First Killer, V1 has Beast Mode, Energy had Justin. It's everyone, every team, every great team has that X Factor that just pops off and wins the game. And right now, I'm not seeing it from Tartarus. They need that finisher, like you said. Will he be able to find it here? Game number 3, potentially the last of the series. They haven't scored a goal in over 10 minutes. of Rocket League. Do you think this trend will continue, sir, or will they be able to open their count?
Well, that's a tough way to start if it's going to change. But at this point, I don't even, if I'm on the voice chat right now, I'm saying, boys, I don't even care if we win. Let's throw something forward. Let's take a risk. Let's try and get a goal. I think it's time to maybe take some risks. We're getting scored on anyways, playing a bit passive. Let's up the aggression here, and I hope they do that.
That is exactly what they need to do. They need those demos. They need those shots. Even if they miss 999 shots, if they get 1,000 on net, one of them at least will go in. But it's going to be so difficult because Fearless Echo, you can feel their confidence starting to ramp up. And now Boyoni is going to get a brace for himself almost inside the first 30 seconds of game number 3. And this is also a completely different Fearless Echo. In game 1, they were tentative. You could almost say that they won due to luck. In game 2, yes, they won 4-0, but they weren't super impressive in the offense. But now it seems like they're getting confident, and this team, when it gets confident, it's so dangerous. Both of those plays have not been a result of luck, but rather amazing offense, and they want to keep it going. The passing plays, the demos, the bumps, everything, even the aerials are going well for them. Tartarus, they really need to find an answer here because it's only 1 minute that we have played of Rocket League, and it is going to be 3-0, it looks like.
It is, what a play.
What a beauty from Detach.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets right here. Change of angle. Understands that the demo is potentially going to be spawning on that side. If it spawns on the other side, he can still put it in. Creates an angle for himself to create kind of that fork in the road for the defender. Really well done. And this game already looks to be out of reach. We might have a sweep.
Yeah, this is most certainly looking like a sweep. You said it there, Buckets getting a save. The Deadly Dawn, maybe now counter-attack opportunity. All the players on Fearless Echo are committing on the offense because they were so confident that just Tartarus, they haven't shown any defense, any offense of their own at all. Yes, their defense is strong, but they can break it if they keep going time and time again. And you saw it there. The angle of the camera showed us absolutely no defense for Fearless Echo, but still no cigar for Tartarus. And really at this point, I don't know, is it a mental block? Is it, I don't know, their hands are cramping or something? Because it feels like they're playing so far below the level that we know they're capable of playing.
Well, when a team's a bit better than you are as well, it's tough. You know, it's easy to look good in those lower elo lobbies, but as soon as you get a team that is a bit faster than you everywhere, it creates a lot of difficulty. But that might be it. No, it's not. What a save! But what a chance that is. Are we getting close to the perfect sweep? I don't want to jinx it, but it seems to be that the perfect sweep is on the cards.
Most certainly is, and the most concerning thing, I'm just looking at the clock right now. We haven't even played half of game 3, and it feels like it's already been over for 2.5 minutes. Okay, maybe not 2.5, but this game has been done for 2 minutes solid. Now Buckets, will he get the aerial opportunity? Wow. No, it's put to the side, and once again the offense just can't get it done. Also has to be said, that save from Tex before, that was something of magic. Going up there, tilting your car in the perfect way that will allow you to get that touch out of the net, that was not easy, although it did look like it. Double down. Is this it? Yes, it will be the Deadly Dawn from downtown off the back of that backline demo. Finally, Tartarus get on board. And my friend, you gotta say, there is a jinx.
There is, and I didn't want to say it, but I just felt so bad for the boys in orange here. I really wanted them to get on the board, so I had to take one for the team. But down to the end of life, if they score here, what a save by Fearless. But if they score here, this last minute of play could start up. Not only do they ruin the perfect sweep, do they start up the reverse sweep? Wouldn't that be a story?
Oh, it would most certainly be one for the ages, but it's going to be very hard as time keeps ticking down. Last 100 seconds here, and Tex wants to have a save.
Oh, no.
Is going to be the one credited with the goal, but that play was all Tex. What a beautiful aerial.
Yeah, and when I say boys in orange, I do mean, I just mean our Tartarus brothers here. Sorry, we are looking at a different one, but back to the action. We have a 4-1 lead with a minute and a half left, and the sweep is now on, potentially only conceding 1 goal. You have to say that Echo's looking pretty strong going forward in these play-ins.
Oh, most certainly, especially if they are going to play back-to-back games against Caro now. They are playing, like we said, that conference rival. I don't know exactly what their score was when they previously met, but the higher placing would lead me to thinking that Caro probably got the better of a Fearless Echo. Maybe there was a draw. I don't know. I can try to search for those stats as this game winds down. 1 minute remaining, and this feels like it has been in the bag for a long time for Fearless Echo. 1 goal, maybe I guess it's the pride goal. We didn't get perfect swept just to take it home, but really, it's not something to be proud of, is it?
No, you don't want to be part of these teams, but you know what? You win with the boys, you lose with the boys. That's it. There's no other better feeling than making sure your boys are taken care of. Yeah, it's great to win, and we all love that, but what really makes a good team is how you handle the losses, and I hope they can come back stronger than ever.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe some more opportunities here in the offense for Tartarus, but it's been GG for quite a little bit. I tried to frantically look for these stats. I'm not even looking at the gameplay right here because it is all about the next matchup. Fearless Echo against Caro will be the next round. GG's all around. None of our predictions are going to be correct, but we did both get the winning team in our card. Is this a goal? Yes, it is!
Wow, they did.
Gets his brace.
Really beautifully done here, but they are not going to be pleased with the rest of it.
Well, certainly not. Oh boy, now I gotta go through 9 weeks of the league play to see when Fearless Echo played Caro and what the result was. It was not week 1. It was not week 2. It was, let's see, not week 3. Was it week 4? What do you think, sir?
I doubt it. I'll do some of the stats here for you while you look through. All right, because we might be here a while. There's a lot of weeks.
So I'm at week 5 and they still haven't played each other.
Well, you'll find it. You'll find it. But looking at the score sheet today, we do have 3-0 win for Fearless Echo, and you know what? We had a lot of good players in this game. I'm assuming if we had to choose an MVP, for me, it's Boyani. I just thought he wasn't always the one scoring the goals, you know, but he was there a lot defensively. That midfield rotation for him just kept Tartarus on the defensive end the whole time. I really thought that was amazing. But going forward, they have to look to the next game. They have to, Alligator. They have to make sure you stay focused and you don't get complacent with a 3-0 sweep. You got to make sure you're ready for the next one.
Yeah, because speaking of sweeps, I'll have you guess here. I checked first week 9, of course, the most recent one, and then I went back to week 1. You know, gotta check them in order. Guess what week Caro and Fearless Echo played each other? It was week 8.
8. Oh, we would have been there for a while.
8. If I had backwards, I would have gotten that faster. But speaking of sweeps, like I was saying, Caro 4-0'd Fearless Echo the last time these two teams played each other. It was not pretty. It was quite the thrashing, if you ask me. And now they are going to have to do it again. But they have momentum on their side. So before we say goodbye, at least for a little bit, sir, what do you think? Is going to be Caro the one advancing to the next round, or can Fearless Echo carry their momentum, and can they win the next series to progress in these prospect play-ins?
Well, you know what? I've been sticking with Echo for a little bit here. I've been watching some of their play, and I think they're a different team to be reckoned with right now. They're hot. And to talk about the MVP, it is going to be Boyani, and I think it's well-deserved. He just played super, super well. Just solid throughout. It's not always about how many points you put up on the board, but he did do both today. So, and I think I'm getting word here that this is the first full NA cast that's ever happened, which I think we have to take a bow here, Alligator. We have to show them something from the other side of the pond, you know?
Oh, it's us. I don't know what you want me to do, man. You just got me by surprise.
Yeah, we take a bow. We take a bow. You're welcome for the talent. You guys had to outsource to North America. I get it. But that being said, we do love being in the booth, and I love being back in the booth. But it's a pleasure of having served in the booth with you for the first time, Alligator.
It was certainly a nice one. Certainly always a pleasure to be here for RSC. The highest level of Rocket League is being played here in Europe, both in RLCS and here in RSC. But that's going to be everything from us for today. We'll leave you with some newer faces, with some old teams and some new foes as we keep going into that play-in bracket. But that was everything from us for today. Thank you, and stick around for some more great Rocket League.
See you guys.
If you're someone who needs to hear this, take a breath. For those who put others first when their own world's a mess. For anyone who feels like they're near the end, this one's for you. This one's for you. Want you to take one breath, take one step, and never say never. Things will get better, only takes one day to rewrite your fate. Know that you'll find your way. Wherever you are, I hope you're listening, I hope you're living out your life. Wherever you are, I know you'll make it. Hold on to faith and you'll survive. Wherever you are, I hope you're listening, I hope you're living out your life. Wherever you are, I know you'll make it. Hold on to faith and you'll survive. Wherever you are. Know that you'll find your way. Wherever you are. I know you'll make it. Wherever you are. If you're someone who'll take the fall to save someone else, and nobody even knows that you're suffering yourself. For anyone whose pain always hurts like hell, this one's for you. This one's for you. Want you to take one breath, take one step, and never say never. Things will get better, only takes one day to rewrite your fate. Know that you'll find your way. Wherever you are, I hope you're listening, I hope you're living out your life. Wherever you are, I know you're one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's time to hit the lights, under the street lights, under the street lights. I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. Untold stories, they were left behind. The silent breeze, I got nothing on my mind. This madness is insane, why you still live in vain? I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. It's time to hit the lights, under the street lights, under the street lights. I'm not the one, you're the victim of your own mistakes. You're the victim of your own mistakes. Separated through the miles.
Sun meets the moon. I'm the sun when I'm on. Do you think you are? Who do you think you
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to RSC EU. We're continuing with our prospect play-ins. We're into day 2 of the playoff week, and, well, Caro and Fearless Echo are next up in a clash that should be very interesting indeed. Fearless Echo absolutely swept their last series, made it look easy, and well, I'm sure they'll be hoping for the same here. You've got to be pretty relentless to get through the playoffs and win them from this point, and I'm sure they'll give it a go with form like that. Merits is alongside me. I'm Tom Dillon. Merits, welcome along. I'm being reminded that I've lost a draw. Yes, I have. They always fall apart, don't they, from IKEA? But anyway, Merits, welcome to the stream. I see you sleep standing up as well.
Yeah, totally. Well, back to the more important matters. Fearless Echo's play-in run continues against Caro. Like you said, absolutely destroying Tartarus in the last series. And we're going to quickly have a little look at the bracket to see how everything's going up. Obviously, yesterday, Alter winning 2 series in a row, and Propel taking the game 5-1 yesterday. And Fearless Echo started their campaign off with a sweep. And now they're contending for that final lower bracket spot, Tom.
They are, and well, plenty of interesting games going on as well throughout the course of the next few days. Well, obviously we go back to Saturday is when these guys book their place. And I think the crucial thing here that I did mention yesterday, and to be honest with you, it's pretty much the cliche at this point in the playoffs, that they're already in the lower brackets. The odds are stacked against them. As we look at the playoffs, you've got to be playing from this lower bracket from 5 o'clock all the way up until 11 o'clock in the evening if you're going to want to go through that bracket reset and get the championship. So you really have just got to have this winning mentality where every single game has got to be pretty much a win. You don't want to lose a single game because it will just upset you so much.
It'll be a grind, but it really proves who has the most determination and grit and resolve Really, survival of the fittest is what they say. Obviously, the upper bracket teams have that extra life, so that just adds that extra element of challenge. And if we see a team make a good lower bracket run, it'll definitely be very impressive. But as we look at the team stats, obviously, Fearless Echo 6th seed out of the Glaciers Conference, going 35 and 37. And then Carol, the 4th seed, also out of Glaciers, so same conference matchup with just 4 wins separating the two sides after league play.
So theoretically, a very, very close run affair, and one that's going to be very interesting indeed. I'm drawn as well to the goals. Caro scoring a little bit more than Echo and conceding a little bit less. So maybe that is just a sign that they all round are maybe a little bit of a stronger team here. That being said, as you'll see in our predictions in a moment, I don't think myself or Merits have been particularly kind to Caro. We'll get some player stats for you in a moment. If Merits, as they pop up on our screens, you'd like to take us through those.
Yep, starting off with Carol Bearsom, the captain, the leading man, 68 games throughout league play, 52 goals, 32 assists, and 84 saves on about 30% shooting. So very good stats for him. Also, Eddie Bear, good second man there, 52 games with about a goal per game. So definitely a good strike partnership there. But Tom, what about Fearless Echo?
Well, Echo got a couple of standout players. I'm looking particularly at TX with his 54 goals from 56 games. No one quite above that goal a game margin, but he's definitely the closest here. His saves, though, they have been incredible as well. 85 saves in those 56 games. So perhaps he is the man to keep an eye out for. I can see he is playing tonight, so they're going with what I can see is their main roster. So also interested to see how that goes. It should be the strongest of the fearless sides.
And now, before we can get into any action in this series, let's go through our predictions. I'll go first. I think Fearless Echo, we saw with Otter last night, momentum is key. They have that series win under their belts, so I think they're going to keep that going, and they're going to pick up a 3-1 win over Carroll.
Well, I'm just impressed with the momentum they've got, Fearless, and I always like the Fearless name as well, so I'm backing them to win 3-1-2. But I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if this went one way. I think Caro could quite easily get the win as well. I'm leaning more towards Fearless at this point. I think we're ready to tell the players to join up, and we can get into this one. Should be a fantastic game, and I'm hearing as well we've actually got some standard colours on the screen in red and blue, so that is going to be fun as well. Let's get underway. Game one starting now.
It'll be a good kickoff for the Carroll side, but TX trying to pick up the ball in his own corner, but the pressure too strong from Carroll. Nearly start from Eddie, but Boyle is there in the way. Now, Fearless Echo, we saw their goal scoring prowess last series against Tartarus, but Carroll trying to go off to a hot start. We haven't seen them on stream yet, so it's kind of a grey area on how they'll perform, but Bearsom with a good start for Carroll, and it's 1-0.
Maybe upsetting our predictions there. Bearsom just waiting on it and on the line. TX not really able to do much about it, and as expected, I would imagine. Early stages though, still plenty to play for. Fearless get us kicked off again and will win the kickoff. Cam will try and take it away. TX keeps it alive. Cam off of the corner into the player at the near post. Won't quite drop in. There's a man arriving. It's detached, but he's not quite able to get there. It's cleared away and well downfield. TX trying to keep this attack alive. What can Bearsom do? Going forward for Caro now. He tries to create something off the crossbar. Drops down. TX is able to clear away. So a frenetic few seconds for both sides, really. Caro and Echo having fantastic opportunities. Here goes detached, right-hand side. TX takes it forward. Bearsom will clear it away. Maybe gets a chance for a double touch here. It's not quite going to fall for him.
Doing a good job of just cutting the field in half here, keeping Echo, locked away and not letting them to have the same creative freedom that they had against Tartarus, and it's done wonders so far in this first minute. But now here comes Fearless Echo starting to break through the chains of Carroll's just deafening offense here. A little bit of a miscommunication. Bearsom weighing on the backboard, can't get back to it, and TX with seemingly an open net to shoot at, and he'll make it one apiece here.
Can't say it hadn't been coming. Bearsom maybe a little bit unsighted. Should really be getting to that one with the man backing him up anyway, so probably would have found its way into the net. So we can get back underway. Fiery starts to this one, and I expect maybe we'll be going through into the latter stages of this series here. I don't see it being wrapped up in 3. What can DDY do off the right-hand side? Looks to go forward. Bearsom is there, and now it has to drop to Cam. Cam takes a touch off the backboard, can't find the double touch, not quite got the boost for that one. Here goes Detached, looks for the right-hand side, not able to get past DDY, is able to find a teammate though. Bearsom clears it away, Cam with a bit of work to do, able to get a touchdown. Now Detached goes forward, takes it over 1, arriving is Boyo, but again, no doing.
I think the break may have made Carroll a bit cold because they're definitely playing with a lot more intensity than they are right now, and Cam punishes the sloppy offense. Eddie with the back pass, and Cam, brilliant setup, and he just pops it over Detach into the waiting net to restore Carroll's lead with 2 minutes gone here in this one.
2:55 onto the clock. Bearsom will win the kickoff. TX spills it out into the centre. DDY will try and get there, but it's decent defence, and he won't quite be able to find the net. Still in possession of the ball, though. Teammate comes to support him. Bit of boost to work with as he looks central. But the ball is wrestled off him, and now Boyo can go forward himself, looking for the net. Cam will clear it away, rotating back. And I think a little bit scrappy at the moment, Merits.
Definitely both teams, not really settled into this just yet, but that's a good pass from Bearsom. Eddie does get bumped out the way before a threat can be posed, and Cam cut backwards a bit. TX trying to do something there, but just is cleared away by Eddie once more. That might be heading in. Nobody home for Fearless Echo, and Eddie gifted an absolute freebie to make the lead, to-goal lead.
And Fearless have worked hard, I think, to stay in this game, but maybe just falling away from them in game 1. It's the frustrating stuff at the moment. Eddie's going to get demoed. Here goes Boyo, takes a shot, and Cam will clear it away. It's a good save for him. And Fearless have got a lot of work to do. What can Boyo do? He can't do anything. They give Bearsom a lot of space to work with. Goes left-hand side. He's challenged, and a good demo on Cam is going to give TX a bit of space. Detach chases. Eddie clears. Boyo keeps it alive, though. Here goes TX. Goes off of the corner. Goes central. No teammate arriving. Cam will clear it away. 3 men on the line at the moment for Caro. Detach takes a shot, and Detach finds the net.
One back for Fearless, and they have time to complete the comeback. TX, a beautiful catch, and he has time for the follow-up touch where Detach is lying in wait to slot into the back of the net, and all of a sudden this game is a lot more reachable for Fearless Echo. Definitely they can keep this momentum going. They will potentially find themselves in an overtime situation. Here comes TX off the kickoff, but Eddie does get there in time for the clear. Now Bearsom slowing things down, gets a good flick over Detach and gets clear onto the backboard. Nobody home for Carroll though, and that's an easy clear. Now approaching the final minute, Carroll trying to hang on, but Fearless Echo are only going to get better from here.
Boyo looks for a double touch. Cam will clear it away. TX keeps it alive. Detach is getting ready to arrive himself as he takes a touch. TX is getting back to it, drops it over. Eddie Bearsom with a lot of work to do, won't get there. And Fearless have completed the comeback, but they've still got a minute to try and push on for that winner.
He just loaded the backboard, and Carroll, they got stretched thin, and TX was the one to find the goal in the end, thanks to Detach's wise play to send it high and just stretch the defence, like I said. And now, with a minute to go, it's all square once more. Carroll trying to get back into this one. It's a good demo from Cam. Bearsom is on target, not quite. TX gets it either way. And Bearsom trying to attempt to pinch, but goes adversely. And now, Carroll trying to get some pressure going once more. Cam with the whiff. Now TX sending it back to the corner, pops it up well. But Eddie still finds a way to put it middle, nobody home. Now here comes Fearless Echo. Last 35 seconds to go in this one. Will we go to overtime, or will the team find a winner? That's nearly one from Boyo.
Here goes Detach, has a clear goal to aim at, and he misses. That might be the moment in this game 1 as we approach overtime. Eddie going forward up the other end. TX a lot of work to do. Boyo gets there. Bearsom takes a touch off the crossbar. It goes, and Detach is there for save credit. I don't think it quite went off the crossbar. Might have been going in. Eddie on the goal line. 10 seconds to go before we go to our first overtime of the series. Shot comes in, and Eddie scores. And that should wrap it up for Karos. Caro, I should say. Don't know who Caro saw. That was, again, a bit of a gift for him, wasn't it, Merits?
Sensational pre-jump to catch Boyo unaware. And it just slots into the bottom right corner to hopefully gift Caro the game win. But TX has possession and he is dangerous, but can't in. And with that, Bearsome will drop the ball, and Caro, you know, despite facing a valiant comeback from Fearless Echo, they close it out and take game number 1.
Disappointing as well after having worked so hard to come back to find yourself losing a game for 4-3, but I suppose it is what it is, and Echo will, as they jump out, Boyo does. I think they'll try and do what they can to get back into this one in the next 2 games. But Merits, I mean, we've both predicted a 3-1 win here for Echo. That would be quite special given that they now need to win 3 on the bounce. I mean, are you standing by your prediction?
I think that game was just, you know, getting them acclimated. They started ramping up towards the end, and I think if they can keep their mentality in check, it'll only go up from here. So personally, I'm still standing by my prediction, but, you know, I'm now suddenly a lot more open to the prospect of Caro winning the series.
Yeah, I think I am too. Probably in their favour, maybe. I mean, they played very well, didn't they? We have got players filtering back into the lobby, so that's good to see. Detach is still not quite there, so I think we are going to have a momentary pause as we load in to Forbidden Temple. I think we're just waiting on Boyo, perhaps. No, the teams are all back in, so there we go. We can get underway for game 2. Echo needing a very quick response, otherwise this series is going to become rather difficult for them. Here we go. We're underway, and it's a decent kickoff actually for Caro. Here goes Bearson, double touch, beckoning, and it glances wide. They're not quite able to find the net just yet. Eddie keeping the attack going. Boyo clears away out to the right-hand side for Cam to try and get back to. Gets it past Detach in the end, and Bearson goes forward. Open net to aim at, should go in, won't go in. Hits the post. Nothing Eddie can do about it.
Both teams pedaled to the metal to start things off, but definitely a very awkward affair thus far. Caro maybe should have had a goal, but it will be TX who'll grab the opener for Fearless Echo. A very swift reply indeed. Exactly what was required of them. That pinch going adversely for Eddie, and TX was the man in the middle to make it happen.
And I think very important for them to get that first goal, Merits. It just takes the monkey off their back, really. They can now try and control this game.
Yep, certainly, but Caro, they nearly had a goal early, but hope that doesn't make them a bit over-aggressive. Boyle bumps by Cam. Might bear some yes in space, can't quite get past TX, and instead it'll bounce off the side wall. Detach, trying to find TX, but the pass maybe not communicated well. That's a good pass though. Detach trying to slow things down, but Caro won't allow them that time and space. Now here come Caro themselves trying to create something, but Boyle is there and stands tall defensively. Cam gets demoed, not before winning that 50. Double commit coming out from Fearless. They're still going to be progressing well in this attack. Caro does get it away.
Shot comes in from Eddie, more of a keeping it alive than a shot really. Cam goes off the corner, detaches at the front post, will clear it away, still with this slender lead. Echo, there's some tussling for it with TX. Eddie goes up, detaches there, and Detach gets the save as well. Very nice save at this stage in the game. Bearson keeps it alive though, goes off the corner. This is a real opportunity. TX sweeps again, sweeps away. Boyo trying to get to it, trying to get this little spell of pressure over with as Bearson takes a shot. Bearson off the post, and now Boyo with a save. And Caro really here, get the goal. I was about to say that they haven't kept this at 1-0 through lack of trying. And then Eddie goes and does what Eddie seems to be doing a lot in this series, and sneaking one in.
But it was the aggressive rotations have been prominent in Caro this game in the first 2 minutes. You know, there have been quite a few double commits, but they're making their chances count for the most part. And now here they come again. All 3 players past the halfway line, just trying to suffocate Fearless Echo here. Detach with a good save. He does bring it all the way out of his own corner, but just quickly be 50'd by Cam. That's a good pass. Cam gets on the receiving end of it, but can't guide it toward goal. And now here comes Caro once more. It's passed in middle, but nobody home. Now here they come once more. So a lot of back and forth, trying to just out solo play one another. But Fearless Echo right now backs against the wall because they know the stakes. If they lose this game, it's reverse sweep territory. That is just, it's almost impossible to come back from it, in all honesty. But now, here comes Carol. Eddie grabbing the second. That's a good lead for Carol to have at this stage in the game.
And, well, there you go. Caro in the in the lead. Really are just keeping themselves in this, even if Fearless do look to be maybe the better team. Boyo now takes a shot and gets them back level.
Yep, it's straight off the kickoff. TX pops up. Cam can't get to it. Eddie can't get to it, and Boyo places it past the last man to tie things up. And it was like that goal never happened. It's 0-0 once more. 2 minutes to go.
Fearless Detach is going to try and clear this one away off of the byline. Not quite able to do it though. Here goes Eddie, takes a shot, and it's a good save from TX. Just stopping the pace of that attack. Down the other end they go then. Fearless. Boyo got a clear shot on goal. He will get it. No, he won't. Eddie with a save. TX keeping this alive off of the corner. No one in support of him, and Bearson will clear it away. Here goes Detach though, taking it off of him. Cam takes it off of Detach, and now Eddie goes forward off of the backboard. Almost chance for Bearson. TX clears away. Now he has a break.
Yep, Fearless Echo trying to get the lead back, but nobody there to receive the ball despite them both being in the area. And now Detach just getting back to that one. It was looking a little bit shaky. A double commit in the corner for Carol. Eddie has to bide his time. Here comes Detach, 0 boost in the tank. Eddie does get that one away, and now he claims possession for himself. Pre-jumping TX goes up, Eddie gets past him. 50 goes middle, Cam lying in wait. That one's going to go over Detach's head, but TX is there to make the stop, and now Bearsome puts that one on goal. It'll be slightly too high, and now Fearless Echo trying to make the save, but they're quite evidently starved of boost. That's not a great clear. TX does get back to it though, and now Carol trying to keep the pressure going, but will Fearless Echo break out here?
Cam is going to try and get this one down the right-hand side. Detach takes it off of him. Boyo's there. Arrives, but not quite able to find the net. Here goes Eddie then. Otherwise, we're going to our first overtime of the series, as we really should have done in the last game. Into the centre it goes. Drops down. Bearson just can't get there. Detach waits on it, and now it's the Fearless attack. Cam gets it off of them. Stops the attack. They can go up the other end now. Bearson stops it in midfield. Boyo takes it away. Downfield he goes. It drops down. Bearsom's got to get there. Bearson won't get there. TX arrives. He can't get to it either. And it's a scrappy moment, as maybe an attack now for Eddie, looking to tap one over. Boyo takes it up to the other end, and with 10 seconds to go, Merritt's overtime might be begging.
Very, very nervy string of events here. The threat of overtime definitely making them more shaky, but Boyo will deny it. 1 second on the clock. Fearless Echo have the lead, and now their worries are eradicated of having to go to that dreaded overtime, and they know that it's highly probable that they will have the game to win under their belt, and they can rebuild and try and claim victory.
As we hit the buzzer, one last chance for Kara here to maybe take us to overtime, and they've got a chance, as Bearson keeps it up eventually. Tapped to the floor by Fearless Echo, and they just about narrowly win that second game. Series well and truly alive. Merits and Echo potentially taking that momentum.
Yep, and it was Carol with the bulk of the pressure, I'd say. 11 shots to 5, but Fearless Echo scoring 60% in that game. Definitely a very clinical performance, and their defense was up to par also. They're rotating well, and the saves are just coming and coming. Carol could not break down the wall, and they have the win as a reward.
54% ball possession for Kara, not enough to win them that game. 11 shots also to 5, so Fearless playing on the defensive, and I don't know if that strategy is going to work for them, to be honest with you. I think Rocket League definitely have to I think Rocket League wise you have to play aggressive. I don't like defensive games.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm liking the amount of goals we're getting. Definitely a lot of action in this one, and I think my camera is disconnected. I'm not quite sure though. But going into game 3 on Sovereign Heights, series tied at 1 apiece. Who do you have going on to match point, Tom?
Well, I think Fearless. I do think Fearless. Uh, it's going to be close. It's going to be a close one, but I think Fearless will edge this out.
The game 3 is underway. Tied at 1 apiece, and it's a good kickoff from Carroll. Good challenge from Bearsome. Detach comes across the cover, but it finds Eddie's car. Cam puts that shot not quite on target, cleared either way by Boyo. Put back into the middle. Eddie not even getting the shot away. Cam does, however, saved by Boyo. Now Carroll, another hot start, but will they find the early goal that they've been missing?
As Detach gets to this one, looks to go forward. Eddie now takes a touch forward. It will be cleared away by Boyo. Now TX looking off of the corner. Boyo gets a touch. It will put it into TX, who takes the shot. Won't get there. Detach is arriving. He takes a shot and not quite able to get the net.
50 seconds gone. Carroll still with the pressure. Well and truly with them, but now TX breaks it of his own half. Eddie dispossessed, and Cam nearly puts that in his own net. Pretty shaky moment. Now Detach puts that on target. Eddie more than prepared for that one. He follows up his own touch as that rolls towards the orange net. Oil does clear it away just to keep it safe and sound. But Carroll still with all the pressure. Detach maybe bumps a little bit there. Now Bearsome met early by TX, and it's just a game of back and forth. No team real with any control yet, Tom.
Here goes Echo. And, well, now TX will look to take a shot. Bearsome trying to sweep it away. He will. Goes down into the midfield. Boyo gets demoed. This allows a chance for Cam. Still at deadlock. Cam surely. Backboard read, not able to find it. Detach is onto the ball very quickly. Eddie gets a poor touch hit. Eventually Bearsome will control it. Take it away. Now look central. Maybe for a teammate. And it will be for Detach, though, who does well. Now a chance for Eddie, cleared away by Boyer.
2 minutes gone, still scoreless. Maybe a contrast to what we've seen earlier. TX could have put that one on target, but didn't. Detach hits it near post where there were 2 defenders waiting. It is cleared away by Carroll once more. Cam gets it past Boyo. Detach is going to turn on that one. He puts it to the sidewall, trying to follow up. Double commit from Echo. No follow up. Detach does get the shot off, and now Fearless Echo trying to pounce here. Eddie has the boost, but Boyo was up first. He gets a good touch, trying to go for the bump, but Cam does get it away. And now at the halfway point in this game, it's still goalless, but who's going to break the deadlock?
Here goes Eddie, right hand side he goes. Touch goes into the midfield, but no one there to get to it. Detach here, 2 minutes to go, trying to look for a teammate maybe in the centre. No one there. Bearsome gets a touch, awkward touch. Maybe there goes Boyo arriving, and a bullet into the net to put Fearless into the lead.
Boyd clearing it into the middle at all costs, and that is why, because someone from the other team will be waiting to punish. You know, you're taught from a low rank that your corner is the safest place in Rocket League, and clearly forgetting that lesson is Bearsome is now his team 1-0 down because of it, but he's trying to make up for it. Boyle does get the stop, and now Fearless Echo, they have time to burn off, but Eddie nearly tying things up. It does get cleared away. Now Bearsome, that one's going to go into the middle once more. He gets it past Boyle. Eddie trying to put that on target, but Fearless Echo won't have any issues clearing that one.
Detach takes this out to the left-hand side. Eddie gets a touch on it. Desperate situation at the moment for Caro, knowing that they really need to find a goal, otherwise this series flips back on its head. TX will get a bit of space, gets it past 2 on the left-hand side, but in the end it's going to be Eddie who gets a touch onto it. Eddie still may be going here, can't get to this one. Cam has to take it off of him. Cam going forward, Boyo gets a clear away. Now a chance for TX. He goes off the rear wall into a teammate. Boyo off the backboard. Now a chance for Detach to maybe put the game to bed. And with 2 minutes to go, that's a very tall order for Caro.
And it's just that same thing that's happened all series. Just load the backboard and rewards will come after it. Detach this time find the net to get Fearless Echo that 2-goal cushion with just less time left on the clock for Caro to work with. Now it's going to go straight into the orange half off the kickoff. Detach does get away. Now TX taking it off the sidewall, met by Eddie. Now the pressure ramping up into the final minute. Caro gonna throw it at the wall and hope it sticks because they have nothing to lose in this scenario. Boyle trying to take it slow, but Eddie has none of it and now throws it off at the side wall. TX does get back to it, slows the ball down, but Bearson chucking himself into the corner. Cam is up, triple commit from Fearless Echo, but it sets Carroll back, and that's the important thing for them right now. They need to keep them back, and, you know, extinguish any risk of them scoring.
That being said, there might be a goal here. Oh my word!
What is happening?
Detach with a fantastic bit of work on the line. 18 seconds to go, and that might have just taken the pressure off of Fearless. Here he goes, downfield again. But Eddie is there. Cam now, really last chance, not quite able to find it. 8 seconds to go in this game 3, and Fearless might have just done enough here. Shot will come in from Bearson, looking for a consolation. He's going to find a consolation. He won't. To add insult to injury, it drops just before the line. It is a very, very clutch save from Detach that I think has won them that game.
Yep, great win from Fearless Echo, and now that puts them onto double match point. They have 2 games left, only need to win the 1. But Carroll, once again, the pressure was with them. The same equal shots, but the field domination 55% for Carroll. So they just need to be making more of what pressure they have, because they definitely should have at least gotten 1 goal out of that game.
And to be honest with you, I think they expected to. Again, 8 shots in that game for Garo. That's the second time they've lost a game with that many shots. I mean, 8 shots also for Fearless, but they were just able to convert on it. So, I don't even think any more Fearless are necessarily playing a defensive game here, Marius. I think they're just now outplaying Kara. I think maybe Kara losing their heads a little bit.
I told you to take that game to warm up, but the power momentum is just proving strong. Fearless Echo, looks like they're putting no nerves and they're just vibing, playing well as a team, and it's, proving to be well, because now they're on match point coming in to your favourite map, Beckwith Park.
Well, I had mentioned it for a while, but I do love a bit of Beckwith Park, and what a coliseum for such a high pressure game. And, well, Fearless know that they're 1 game away. 1 of 2 is the equation for them. 2 of 2, the equation for Caro. And it's a fiery start as TX gets demo, but it is Fearless on the attack. Bearson clears it away. Detach will pick it up just around centre field. Allow Boyo to do a bit of work. Taps it past 1. Cam with a strong clear away. Here goes Eddie. Can't quite get to it. Chance maybe. Boyo gets there. And that is a very adept piece of work from him. Bearson gets demoed. Eddie now a chance for redirect, gets the redirect, but Detach again with a bit of work on the line.
It's another hot start from Carroll, but they just can't find the net. And it's just been a ringing theme so far this series, that they've been starting off with a lot of shots, but not been converting them all that well. And now here they come once more. Bearson rushing onto that ball, faking out Boyo, but has to slow it down. It was a bit of an awkward touch. He does get the bump, can't follow it through, and now here comes TX. Not sure how much boost in the tank, but not much, I'm assuming. Cam puts up on the backboard. Eddie flies towards that one, can't get the read. Bearson trying to force it through. Boyle making the stop, and now Carroll forced to track back in their numbers. Detach puts it middle, nobody there. Carroll get off lightly from that counter attack.
TX looks to clear this away. It will go off with a corner. Detach gets a touch into centre field, and the demos are coming out in numbers. 5 demos already in this game that's still at 0-0. I mean, clearly, Caro have found a plan. Both teams have found a plan. There's another one. This time it is on the Fearless side. So 3 demos apiece, 6 demos overall in this game so far. Eddie going forward, can't get it past TX. TX got a real chance here off the backboard. The double touch just a little bit far away for him there. Boyo has a chance to air dribble off the left-hand side. Miscontrols slightly. Give Bearson a bit of room to work with. Still going here out of centre field over TX. Got to be some work on the line from Boyo. Is a bit of work on the line for Boyo, who goes forward now. Eddie's there, but Boyo goes all the way.
A brilliant play to start off game 4 in the right direction for Fearless Echo. Boyle just with the whole of the field to himself. He manages a way to twist the ball into the back of the net past that last defender. Now, but Fearless Echo well and truly on their front foot towards winning this series. Just need to keep the momentum going and not allow Carroll back into this. And detaches a good 50. Boyle flying in. Can't quite get it on target that time. TX puts down to the backboard. It's a good clear by Cam. Now Carol trying to break out of their own half. Bearson does just that, and he has boost for a follow-up. Two people are there. Pass over hit, and nobody there to receive it. Now Fearless Echo, good 50 by Detach. Now here comes TX, not sure how much boost. It is cleared away by Eddie, and now a little bit of a demo trade between the two teams. So that ball's just left to roll. 2-0.
Calm as you like, and this is what I meant about Fearless. They just seem to have been maybe having that little bit extra in these last 3 games that they've obviously, presumably, as it stands, won. So I think they're in a very good spot here. Keep going as Bearson takes the kickoff, and in fact Bearson wins the kickoff. Cam knows that now it's a matter of urgency for Caro to try and get a goal, to just get themselves back into this game and back into this series. Suddenly it seems like a bigger mountain to climb than it did before. This will be a good start, but TX is on the line. I think it was TX, and it was a good piece of defending. Now Eddie has a bit of work to do on his own baseline. Goes into the centre, trying to get to it is TX. He gets there. Fearless Detach now goes off the backboard. Not quite able to drop it into a teammate. 1:48 onto the clock, Meris.
And with every second that passes, the prospect of Champions Field, it just feels like it's fading every single second. Now here comes Echo once again. Cam getting an interception, but Boyo is up early now. Detached, trying to force it in. Goes off the backboard, and Bearson not able to form a clear. Now Eddie back to Bearson. That's on target, and that's a start at the comeback. 90 seconds or so to go, and now Carol back in it.
I think you said it though, it's the start of a comeback, and now Fearless, you've just got to concentrate for a minute and a half, and you have got yourself into the playoffs. That is the equation. Detach gets a good kickoff. Eddie will be on the back line to try and deal with this one. He does, gets it over the top of one, but Boyo has a chance to run some clock in the corner. Maybe a bit early to be really trying to run some clock, but just keep it in the opposition half and you'll be well on your way. TX here, not able to do much with it. Boyo is high line, and there gets past Eddie. Eddie can't capitalise though. There you go, maybe the moment, Meris.
Should have been the goal to tie things up, but now Carol has to be more desperate in their play. Now Fearless Echo just trying to hold them in and watch the time pass by. 45 seconds to go. Good 50 from Cam. They'll only find Fearless Detach. Good pre-jump from Eddie, but Boyle once again there to receive it. They're making the clears, but can't find anyone with them. Eddie puts it into the middle. Nobody there once again. Now 30 seconds to go. It's looking a lot more nervy. They can't let this one fall through the cracks. They need to find a goal. They need to find it quick. That's a good pass. Eddie has it propped up on his car, but cleared away by Fearless Echo, and time is running out, Tom.
Not for now though, as Eddie gets a goal and creates a very tasty 14 seconds or so and keeps the series alive for the time being. Echo just falling apart in the last minute or so and not able to hold on. Now 14 seconds to go. That is what is ahead of us before we go to overtime and then potentially Champions Field. It's Caro who get the better of the kickoff. Now Detach trying to go forward, still popped up nicely. Potentially for Caro. Boyo takes it forward. 1 second to go. Should get spikes. Might not. Detach takes a shot. Bearson does a very sensible thing in spiking that ball. And we go to overtime.
Caro's finally starting to make use of their abundance of pressure. But off the kickoff is a fresh start for Echo, and it's nearly a goal very early on to seal the series. But Caro holding on for now. Bearson, it's a good touch, keeping it close. And now Cam demoed. Bearson demoed. Detach pops it up. He's going to be the one to follow up. It is on target, and it gets past all of them. Fearless Echo wrapping up in style, and now they are through to Saturday, and Caro's season is over.
Disappointing way for it to end after you have that moment in the last few seconds, as a moment in the last few seconds where you think you're back in the game, then it only takes 20 more seconds for you to find yourself out of it. There was, I believe, as the stats have gone off my screen, but I believe there was 11 demos in that game, Meris. That was very aggressive. It was like the two teams had something against each other, and I saw a few water saves in chat as well, which is very Rocket League thing, but that was quite a feisty game.
And it's Fearless Echo closing it out thanks to that late goal in overtime from Fearless Detach. And now they're through to the Saturday's bracket. They don't need to worry about points anymore. And as we have a look at the post-series stats, 11 goals to 8. Carroll out shooting Fearless Echo in terms of overall shots. But the defence from Fearless Echo reigned supreme as they had 16 saves to 10. Carroll slightly more possession and more boost used. So Carroll, they had more pressure, but Fearless Echo did more with their pressure.
Well, that does it. Well, it actually doesn't do it. We've got one more series coming up where Tavish and Sato will take you through that. I'm used to being on the last series of the night, Merits, but our next streams, for those wondering, Thursday and Friday, the Challenger.
Bittersweet and I'm walking slow. sensitive, feel the afterglow. Looking for things that I can't control. Fear from my past, cause it always shows. Do I wanna try? Can I let it go? Running from the past, wanting to be sure. Chaos in my mind, constant deja vu. But every time, it comes back to you. Whoa, I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet. Whoa, I keep on falling. Whoa, I like the taste of it. Blacking out, afraid just fading day by day. I'm reaching out for someone who can take away the pain I feel for things I haven't done at all. I've lost my way, but how I felt I can't recall. Do I wanna try? Can I let it go? Running from the past, wanting to be sure. Chaos in my mind, constant deja vu. But every time, it comes back to you. Whoa, I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet. Whoa, I keep on falling. Whoa, I like the taste of it. Whoa, I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet. Whoa, I keep on falling. Whoa, I like the taste of it. I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet. Whoa, I keep on falling. Whoa, I like the taste of it.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in burst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
I know we grew up a little too fast. I miss the days that we chill and relax. Where did the time go? It all passed. Now I need to go back. I had no worries, but always had plans. The only thing I did was pick out the trash. Now it's much harder to laugh. Hard to get up and then work on my craft. I need inspiration. Don't need no validation. No more medication. Just try some meditating. I don't need you to save me. vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain. Oh, I just wanna numb the pain. I just wanna run away. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain. Well, maybe I'm done, maybe I've lost. Still putting up a fight because I love my mom, I love my family. When I was young, they would all look after me. I don't know why, but I feel like a burden. I spend my life overthinking my purpose. Can't really cry, I'm so used to the hurt. Trauma keeps flipping me at the wrong moment. Oh, I just wanna numb the pain for a minute. I just wanna run away on vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain. I just need to numb the pain. I just need to numb the pain for a minute. I just wanna run away on vacation. I don't know what else to say now. I just need to numb the pain.
Welcome, one and all, to a little playoff match here. We got a good old second seed, we got a little third seed. Whoever wins this gets to face the good old first seed, and the other drops into play-ins. Don't worry, there is still something to play. Palmas, Juventus, it's going to be a good game. Do you think, Chavish?
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. You said it perfectly. Second against third seed. Winner faces first seed. The other one is dropping down into lowers and gonna be facing, I don't know, fourth, fifth, or sixth seed, depends on who's making it through. But Palmas, Juventus, two very strong teams here as we take a quick look at the bracket. As you can see, they're in the upper bracket. They're the final two teams to battle it out. Yeah, it is the final matchup for play-ins. After this, we're finally going to playoffs to see what of those top teams will make it through. But what do you think about this matchup?
I think it's going to be close. I mean, looking at that, the other play-ins match for third and second was, what, 3-2? So it's going to be close games, you know. You've got one, I mean, sadly, Jakuziak's not playing, unfortunately, so they're using their sub, who I believe is Benny, but correct me if I'm wrong there, chat. Thank you. And then, obviously, Palmas got their full roster. You've got what looks like Blugie, Masters, you got Hiviz. Other team, you've got Righty 13017125, Silver's Relight, and JPEG. Oh, I've got the teams mixed up. That's on me, chat. Sorry about that.
Yeah, close enough. But, you know, talking about those two teams, obviously, Palmas being the second seed with 46 wins, 26 losses. Juventus being third seed with 43 wins, 29 losses. So only a small difference here between the two teams. Goal differential, on the other hand, is a very big difference, with Palmas scoring way more goals. And yeah, they could see a little bit more, but if you look at the differential itself, it's not that big of a difference. Saves, on the other hand, similar, pretty close to each other. So curious if there's gonna be a really just Palmas shooting shot after shot. Maybe some have a lot of goals, don't have to do that much defending, or if it's gonna be an even matchup. And then if you take a look at individual stats between all the players that are here on the field, I think actually everyone's doing like kind of the same thing. Hivis for Palmas doing a lot of savior work, same as Silver Ray for the Juventus side. So maybe them two stepping up here to get a lot of saves. But besides that, I think personally both teams are pretty evenly matched out.
Yeah, they're really matched out. I think, obviously, you've highlighted Hiviz and Silver's. You've got what looks like 67% for Hiviz goal participation. You got 61% for Silver's Relight. You got Benny, the sub, with 66% win rate, you know. And he's probably got the joint highest on his team as well, so you can shoot. And then on the other side, you got JPEG, 39% shot percentage. You got Hiviz again. I think we're going to say that name a lot today.
Yeah,
Got a funny feeling.
I think you're gonna be right there. And obviously Hivis and Silver's Relight, both the two players we're gonna be mentioning a lot. But now talking about this matchup, obviously predictions are not here on the screen sadly. But what do you predict is gonna happen here?
I believe that. Who's the underdog? Is it Juventus? Actually, I like that name. We're going 3-2 Juventus. I like that name. That's a good name, Sam. It's not even Sam's franchise, but good name.
Okay. Well, my prediction is actually already out there for the people who watched RSCast, where myself, Kingsman, Buddha, and Arch did the prediction. And I'm actually going 3-1 here in favor of Palmas over Juventus. So I see it ending in 4. You see it ending in 5. It's going to be, I think either way, it's going to be a close one. Because both teams can make it through, but I think with Jay Kuziak not playing, it might have a difference. So I'm curious just to see how this matchup's going to play out.
So, curiously enough, even though they've got one of their players out, they're bringing a sub in, right? So teams will normally prepare for the main 3, okay? Games 1 and 2 is going to be a big test to see if they can kind of adapt with their sub, as well as if the other team can also adapt to a different playstyle than what they've played before. So it's going to be quite interesting. We've got one team ready. Get your high-vis jackets on. We're still waiting for the other team, unfortunately. So it's a little bit of a podcast, but luckily, good old B-Shakes taking us through a tour of the arena.
And like you just said, obviously, when you go into playoffs, well, now play-ins, but also playoffs eventually, you're always going to be focusing on those main three, because obviously the main three is what you always expect. But now, like I said, subs playing could bring a difference. Game 1 finally on the way. Kickoff just happened. Right, he tried to go for a quick shot. Got some demo at the follow-up as well, but Masters will save my Blue G. Immediate follow-up, tries to get a goal and something here working. But so far, a couple quick shots, but nothing really dangerous.
Yeah, there's nothing dangerous. There's a couple little nervous double commits, you could say. There's a lot of nerves going on this pitch, but it's only natural. It's the first game of your playoffs. You've got to make a little bit of an impact. Ball's going high and wide. It's a nice little shot on target. It's a nice little crossbar, and it's a nice little goal from the Hivers himself.
Yeah, Masters here pops it up, gets best defense. Blue G a little bit too late here with going up, and then Hivers, who read it perfectly, just drops it down. Silver's light right. Silver's red light, really close to actually touching it, but in the end, not close enough. And already within 32 seconds, the first goal here of this matchup.
A really hard win as well, but they've left the net open. They can't. That's unlucky. It's unfortunate. It happens to everyone. It's always first game nerves. It's always a little bit more tense. It's always a little bit more tense, a little bit of a pass as well. A little thing I've actually been seeing is Silver's Real Light is doing a little bit more aggressive play, a little bit more bumps and demos. But as we say that, JPEG with a flip reset, it's nicely saved by Righty13011725 though.
Yeah, and Silver Light tries to get a clear. Masters will be waiting for him. Doesn't get the best touch, but slows down the breakout just by a little bit. Gives JPEG a beautiful attempt to get it past one, almost so close, but the root of the car will deny him. Now Masters infills the Hive. Masters goes for a bump, does get the bump. Hive's a little bit too slow with the shot there. So tries to get a little bit of clear. Most awkward touch. JPEG tries to deny it, and yet not lucky. And Hive is now beautiful breakaway on the way on his own to the other side. Righty doesn't get the right touch. Masters follows up, and it's a 2-0 lead.
It's too early. It's a really nice little 2v1 play as well. Hivers again gets a nice little touch. Righty, it's unfortunate it happens, and then Masters just slots it in. It's a dime. And now we come to my favourite minigame, kickoffs. So Masters and Righty on the ball. Righty with a hard right. Silver's Race should have this and should have time. JPEG's up though, and JPEG beats.
Quick shot here by JPEG. Hivers will follow up, hits the post. Masters follows up immediately afterwards. Of course, Palmas extends the lead to 3 goals here. And we still have 3:12 left on the clock. So much time here in game number 1 to just set something up for Jubatus. But Palmas, they're like, nah, we're just gonna keep on going. I'm gonna see how many goals we're gonna see here from them. Definitely with how Masters and Hivers have been linking up so far here within these first 2 minutes. Masters already going into the air. Just to get a little bit of clear. Righty there. Or, yeah, Righty not the best touch. Blue G now has to get a save. Doesn't get it clear. But immediately denied. Masters up, goes to the back, but tries to go for double. No, leaves it for JPEG. Drops it down. Will go wide in the end. But it just shows how comfortable Palmas is here with all their offense as they're following up like it's nothing. And now a whiff here. And a fake, like you said as well. Blue G gets the first goal for Jubatus.
It's a nice little 1-2. Actually, it's a full team play, I lie. You got Righty 13107522, 2 Silver's right, and then Blue Guy. And then it's a beautiful little fake as well. It's 3-1. It's still got time.
And a lot of time left on the clock. Righty here wins the kickoff, gets but meets JPEG right in front. Quick info pass. Could have been a shot for Righty, but doesn't make contact. Blue G now tries to at least make sure the ball stays in the offensive third. Doesn't really succeed. Masters pops it into the air. Hive is a little bit slow, but still beats the defenders. Drops towards the backboard. Masters quick follow-up shot will be wide. And Palmas, they have so much control here. Wants to keep it going by demoing Blue G from the field. Silver's red light. Tries to take control. Doesn't have any boots. Does win a 50, but no luck in the end as Palmas immediately break away on the other side.
It's another goal. It's 100% goal participation for Hivers, sir. You need a Hivers Jack because he is shining right now. He can't stay away. It's danger all over him every time he's on the ball. Actually, it's just danger, 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 danger. There's nothing they can do for him at the moment.
And now kickoff again in favor of Palmer. So far they've been really dominating here in this game 1, and they're finding each other. Now quick shot on target as well. Luigi does get the save, but JPEG immediate follow-up, making sure the ball stays in the Jabeda side. Right now, maybe an opportunity to get an info pass going, flicks it high, way too high for Silver to actually get a good follow-up. Luckily for them, Righty is there to get a soft shot on target. At least they get another goal back. Goal difference still 2 in favor of Palmer, but with 150 left on the clock, there's still a lot of time.
150. It's a really nice demo as well on the back line. It's a bit more commit, but it always works. And then you got Hivers and Silvers. It's a quite dead off kickoff actually. Blue Jay is going to be uncontested. Masters may take control of it. Righty's there, but JPEG is quicker. Again, it's little beats. It's little small beats are always going to make the difference in Prospect. And any of the leagues actually, it's just little tiny touches on the ball will always improve. It'll always get better over time.
Yeah, that is indeed true. The small touches, small mistakes have the biggest impact. Now Silver has a good attempt for a bumper, does get the bump, Righty follows up. And we're at the beginning, Palmer was 3-0 up. Now they only have a cushion of 1 goal. Wasn't really a cushion anymore. They scored 1 more goal. But for Jabedas, they're fighting back. They're getting their momentum in their favor. They're slowly finding a rhythm on how to beat Palmer to the ball and how to take more control. And with 1:10 left on the clock, that's more than enough time to at least get a tie result there to force that overtime, or maybe even take the win from Palmer here in game 1.
Yeah, I agree. It may be worth Palmas having a bit of a chat really about it in the break, because they're just leaving one man isolated against 2. As I say that, Masters is a demo on the line, but it's the wrong line, Masters. You're in defense, son. But then it's a little double commit. It's unlucky by Palmists. Righty gets beat, but JPEG has it, and Hive is there, the man of the star. Little beat, but Silver's there. Lukey is beat, but he's demoed, unfortunately. It's unlucky. Masters looks a little bit awkward here. Silver's going to push it. It's a nice little beat by Masters. But again, it's little giveaways of possession, and it might just cost them there.
JPEG tried to follow up on that missed from Masters. Luigi now not the best touches, gives an opportunity to Hivers. Hivers doesn't make contact. Luigi immediate follow up, gets it to Silver. Silver wants to get past 1, does get past 1, quick shot on target, but Hivers saves it in the end. 10 seconds ticking down. Righty looking for that equalizer so they can go into overtime. But JPEG clears it all the way into the other side. Silver now tries to keep it up in the air. Blue Jay mid follow, not the best touch, but Righty does keep it up as well. Now to the wall, tries to go for the redirect. No one makes contact. And Palmer take game number 1.
It's game number 1. It wasn't comfortable. I thought it was comfortable after it was, what, 3-0? 2-0? And then it was always 2-goal difference. But Jabez, I'll give them credit. They really sharpened their defense up and also sharpened their offense up. They did something which is I really like actually, is they always put man numbers on offense. There was always a little bit of an offensive difference with 1 defender, then you got 2 attackers. And then they're trying to find each other with passes, which for a game 1 of playoffs, that's sick. And then you got obviously the winners, Palmists, they're insane. You got Hivers with 100% goal participation. He's had 7 shots, 2 assists, 2 goals, 2 saves. There's nothing really much more you can do, really, against him. He's having the game of his life, or time of his life, it looks like, on this team. So, what can you do, Tavish?
It's gonna be difficult. Definitely, you can't deny the stats here. Hivers, 7 shots is already huge, and then JPEG adding 3 more. Mass also adding 2. Master's 100% shooting accuracy, 2 shots, 2 goals. And then for the Jabeda side, they struggled in the beginning. Eventually, when they got slowly in their rhythm, I think they kind of became a little bit more creative. They got the demos, they got the bombs, a fake as well. They were slowly just using all the resources that are available to them, just to the full advantage, to make it very difficult for bombers to keep going with their rhythm. Like, remove 1 player, it just disrupts the entire rotation for like 3 or 4 seconds maybe. With the bump you can do it sometimes even longer. If you bump someone hard enough, then he's out of rotation for longer than 3-4 seconds, and then you can use that numbers advantage to get at least some sort of pressure going, because that was the issue for Jabetis, at least as I felt it here in this game number 1. That Palmist, they were just aggressive, showing, keeping pressure, doing whatever they wanted, and Jabetis, they were struggling to kind of counter that, and eventually they found their rhythm, and then it became an even match.
Exactly, and now we've got the second game. It's a little second game banger I'm hopeful for, with Righty 1301725 on the ball. He's got a little control, he's got 2 flicks actually. It's a nice 50 as well. It should go into the possession, but JPEG is quick and he's there. But so is Silver's Relay, he's quick, he's there, he beats Masters like that. Ivers hits it onto the backboard, Righty with a little bit of a control touch to the side. Then you got JPEG who's already there. JPEG 1 touch, it's a nice recovery as well to a mid, but his teammate went with him.
Yeah, they're an unnecessary double commit from the Palmist side, now leaving Hyvis all alone in defense. Luckily, he takes full control there, doesn't hesitate to get in a solid touch. JPEG now tries to clear it as well, only finds Righty waiting for him, drops the ball into the corner, Somerville and Bluegee. Good communication there, that Bluegee was going for it, and the Silvers was going back. And Silver's now in the corner, tries to get a little bit of a clear. Masters leaving it for JPEG. Bluegee not the best of touches, and Masters follows up, goes immediately towards the backboard. And still, Palmist definitely feeling like the stronger team with pressure so far. But Jabetis, they can handle it a little bit better. They're going more towards their backboards to defend that. They're not just over-committing or double committing at any point. It does look like more like a team effort so far.
Yeah, I think for Palmist, they do need to change some of their offense up as well. Because a lot of it is solo, as I say a lot, the JPEG has just scored. Get that man a PNG instead of a JPEG because he's insane. The nice little dunk as well. It's a dunk and a half actually. Bluegee can't get there and it's a goal, 1-0.
And sometimes you just need a little bit of luck, with how your dunk is going, how your 50-50 is going. And there, for JPEG, it worked perfectly. And Palmist again score first. And now let's see if they can keep this lead, extend this lead. No, they can. Beautiful infield pass from Righty. Silvers follows up immediately past the defense. And within seconds, we already have a tie game.
It's a lovely zero boost pass, by the way. That's a very hard pass to do on zero boost, and it's a really nice read from Silvers as well to just get the ball straight into that net. And again, my favourite game, the kickoffs. It's a hard left to JPEG. JPEG will have space for this, but Silvers should be on backboard. It's a flip reset double attempt to mid. Ivers is there, and Masters will probably shoot that, but it's off target a little bit. Ivers is there, but Silvers beats him.
And JPEG tries to keep pressure, finds Masters, who drops toward the backboard. JPEG wanted to go up, didn't have boost to work with, and now a breakaway opportunity here for Jabetis. Righty drops towards backboard, beautiful save there. Silvers tries to follow up, still in the air, tries to drop it down, no, leaves it, and the defense follows up as well. Bluegee drops it in the back of the net, and for the first time in this entire series, Jabetis is in the lead.
Yeah, it is definitely a debate angle right there from Silvers. Like, what a little fake that is to an open net. Oh, it's a beauty actually. 2-1. And then kickoffs again. It's a hard one by Palmists, unfortunately, which means JPEG will get that boost. And Silvers is there. Silvers with a save and a half. Bluegee is there. He dunks as well, Hivers. I think they're starting to slowly counter this Palmist offense, Tavish.
Yeah, and now you're more looking to Palmist on how will they change their offense, because obviously it's going in. This is going in. Bluegee just was it a pinch from his own side? Yeah, pinch with Masters going according with the wall all the way to the other side, even touching the post in the final second, and they Jabetis extend their lead with another goal. And now you're definitely looking to Palmist. Will they change their offense, or will they just keep playing how they've been playing so far?
I think they need to start slowly helping on defense as well. They're still leaving that last man back a bit too deep. And again, they might get punished, but Hivers is there, but there's again a demo. And then it feels it's more solos on Palmist at the moment. I don't know if it's playoffs nerves, I don't know. But it's not really a full team there at the moment, but they're still there. They're still in it, so of course they're one game up. But again, defense. Where? Righty 1310125 has scored the 4th goal, but as we've learned in that first game, Tavish, 4-goal leads aren't safe for anyone.
No, and in the previous game there was also roughly 150 left on the clock when Jabeda started their comeback. So, Palmist, you're not out of this yet. You can maybe force an overtime since you showed in game 1 that you're very good at least scoring 4 goals. So you should be able to do it here in game number 2. And maybe here for Mastic, he could set it up. He does get it mid. Ivers goes for a follow-up, beautiful infield pass. JPEG tries to follow up, but only fights Silver making the first contact. Mass now leaving the ball for Ivers, who wants to get it mid. Finds Silver as well. Mass follow-up. Ivers leaves it for JPEG. Bloogie a little bit too fast there. No shot for JPEG. And now again, every time when we slowly see a little bit of pressure in favor of Palmas here in this final 2 minutes. When the moment they actually can convert it into a goal, they're leaving it. And now beautiful attempt for Ivers to get a redirect, but it doesn't go in the final second.
Yeah, they're facing a boost problem on offense. They're using a little bit too much. It's a demo on the back line as well. Silvers was there, and Silvers is good. He gets the boost as well, so it delays a little bit of that offense once again. A little bit more pressure's just lost. And with that, time is slowly moving away. It's a triple commit from the orange side though, but I don't think it will matter much, as Silver is there again for the defense with Bloogie. And JPEG should get that, yeah. Gets the boost as well, and it's a really good read again from Silvers. I feel like we're just saying Silver, Silver, Silver again, but he should really be gold.
Yeah, nah. I just realized what you said, so it was a little bit late reaction for me, but like I agree with you there. But like one thing I'm completely confused about is in this entire game too is Jabedis is leading by a big margin, but still they're double committing, triple committing, over committing at every side of the field, and yet they don't concede a second goal. So I don't know if this is just Jabedis being very, very lucky. Like even this is not going in. So maybe you have a better analytical mind than me, but do you have any clue on how Palmas cannot score their second goal here?
So there's a couple of reasons. One is a little bit of playoff luck. I wish I had a better answer for you for that one, but some of it is a little bit of player luck. And then the other one is they keep their third a little bit more back than Palmas do. If you next game, Talish, focus on the Palmas defense, that third man when they're in offense. I can guarantee you they're in the net of their opponents, and they need to kind of fix that now. And this is probably the game where they will hopefully fix that, and they'll obviously be in comms. They've probably got a coach there as well telling them, you've got to at least help that defense out. And again, Juventus, they played the game. They played really well counter-defensive football, with Silvers with, 3 saves, 3 of them important. You got Bloogie with another important save. You got Righty 1301725 on the more counter-attacking side with near the midfield demoing a second or third man anywhere, you know?
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be looking for it in the next couple games. Can we also just give a little bit of a shout out to both these teams that they 0 seconds and they still kept that ball up for like, I don't know, half a minute while we were just slowly talking on what's happened in that previous game. So definitely, I would expect for 6 prospect players to keep the ball up for that long without any issue, and even keeping the ball pretty close to the ground as well. But yeah, like you said, a lot of very important save from Silver's red line, Evan Bloogie. Righty didn't get any saves, but did do a lot of disruption work, so they had a little bit of time to breathe. But now, I do feel there's a little bit more pressure on Ivers, Masters, JPEG on how they are gonna, play their normal game instead of maybe overcommitting or just giving a lot of opportunity to the debates to do that counter football tactic where they just wait back, ball will come to them, they bang it forward and then immediately follow up. Kick off a little bit neutral here in game number 3, and JPEG already has to do a little bit of savior work, gets bumped out of the way, and Masters goes for a big clear. And now game 3 on the way. Two teams can go into match point. Only time will tell which of the two will be the stronger one.
Yeah, and it's the same kind of games where there's a bit more offensive pressure from Hivers and JPEG and Masters, the wanting that, but Righty's there. Righty clears that. That might be a goal. It's a beauty of a save from Hivers. Masters, Blugie gets there first, unfortunately, and Blugie don't miss those. I might miss those, but Blugie definitely doesn't.
No, Blugie jumped because he thought it was going to be a high ball, correct himself perfectly in the out to read it in the final second. Masters definitely need a little bit of a better clear there. But now, kickoff. Masters winning it this time. Righty waiting in the corner, slowly taking his time to get it clear, gets past one. And now doesn't have much boost to work with, but enough to maybe get the ball into midfield. Now will be denied by Hivers. JPEG now tries to get it clear, doesn't make contact. The Silvers can already start the counter attack towards the blue net. Drops towards backward. Blugie already up, tries to follow up, but JPEG gets not the best touch there, but at least a little bit to slow the attack down from the Jabeda side. Masters now tries to get into midfield, does get into midfield, no, gets denied in the last possible second by Righty. Hivers now tries to at least scramble something together here, but it's not enough to keep the offense going.
It's a defensive masterclass actually from Righty 1-3-0-1-7-2-5, isn't it? Oh, what a save and a half. And he might just get a goal on the other net, but unfortunately Jacob FC is there. Blugie with a booming backboard clear. Have you noticed a little change as well from Palmists? They're allowing the first touches of the ball to just be played. Look, first touch there, then we challenge. Then he's up, he's going to probably try and challenge that and push that middle. Masters is awkward here in net, but JPEG should be able to cover him. And he does cover him well, he delays the time. Masters with a 50-50 and JPEG should, or Hivers, take control of it. But again, Silver's Ray Lights there. They're pushing and pushing and pushing that defensive line forward and just getting a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, and you saw this little bit of an attempt there from Masters. Hivers was taking control. Masters was trying to drive forward, but a little bit too far to the side. It was maybe hoping to get a couple bumps in. And now Silver's leaving the ball for Righty. Righty tries to take control. Not the best touch, but Blugie can follow up on his touch. Right now, quick shot on target will be denied on the woodwork. Blugie follows up immediately afterward. Jabeda is extending the lead to 2 goals.
I think this comes down to them not being able. They're always used to being on an attack. I think it comes down to a little bit of that, a little bit of playoff nerves, and it could just be Palmas are just peaking. Jabeda, sorry, are just peaking out their brains.
And where in game 1 it took them a little bit of time to get settled in here in the play-ins. Now they do look very comfortable, and again you're just looking at Palmas, maybe with a little bit of change, a little bit of tactics that's doing might work, but now okay, now I can definitely see the very big overcommit from the second and third man here, pushing a little bit too far forward, and now maybe we might see a little bit of clear. JPEG doesn't make contact. Righty immediate follow up. Takes make sure the ball drops mid in towards Blugie. Blugie not make out. The Silvers makes contact though. JPEG now maybe a count opportunity for him. Does keep the ball into midfield, making it awkward for Blugie to set up the offense. But every time when there's a play from Palmas, try to take control. There's a play from Jabeda, ready to 50 and slow down that offense.
Yeah, it's exactly that. As we say that, JPEG does beat. There is a little numbers advantage here with the ball. Masters with a shot. It's close. But it's unlucky again. It's again a demo, and Bluegie's scored for another. He's hunting at the moment, and I love it. It's really nice, dirty Rocket League, but it's working for them. It's a small double commit from Jabir to slow, unfortunately, but I don't think it should lead to much because Bluegie's there. Blugie beat. JPEG's awkward. Blugie with a read as well, and it's in. 3-0. 1 minute, 1:16 left.
And these kind of goals, obviously, we all experience them from time to time, and you're like, I should not have let that go in. And I think Palmas feel the same way. The moment they see the ball floating, they're like, yeah, this is going towards the back of the net. They're already thinking this should never have happened. And they're going to be scratching the back of their heads on, what can we do? What can we change? And maybe they can find the answer in game 4 or 5, because game 3 is slowly slipping away. One more goal will definitely be the nail in the coffin. And now maybe a counter goal that will hit the woodwork. Mass tries to follow up, but gets denied. Now a little bit of a scrap here in front of the Jabeda's net. But still, Palmas cannot find a goal. And the moment they can actually put a little bit extra pressure, they're all rotating back, probably going for boost. And that's gonna be the story for Palmas the entire time here in game number 3. Now maybe it's an own goal! JPEG gets the credit.
Yeah, it's JPEG with a lovely double read of his life to mid, and then it's slotted home by BlueG with conviction, must I say. It is a conviction shot, that. But again, kickoffs there. I really think Palmas should have a timeout after this game. I really do. But there's still 30 seconds left of this game, so who knows? They could still win, and I look like have a bit of pie on my face. Who knows?
Only a couple things in life are sure, but those two things we never know for sure. And now Paul missed. Maybe that one goal gave him a little bit of momentum. And maybe not here in game number 3, but at least for game number 4, that they still have an opportunity to at least score a goal, make sure that they're relevant in this fight, because they were almost completely shut down in game number 2, almost completely shut down here in game number 3. Well, Blugie had a little bit to make sure at least, you know, you get one goal, but Jabetus, they are now on double match point. They only need one more win, and then they're through in the upper bracket, and then Palmas will go down in the lower bracket. But we have 5 games in total that can be played, 3 already done, still maybe 2 left. It all depends. Can Palmas bounce back, change their playstyle just a little bit, that they can focus a little bit more on rotation? What do you think, Sergio? Is it going to be a Jabetus win in 4, or might we see a game 5 with Palmas?
I mean, regardless of that, I really think Palmas should take a timeout. I really, really do think. Just give them 5 minutes to breathe and chill and relax and not think about anything apart from just having a bit more zen. Because all of their players are good, but their final little bits of shots are not there at the moment, what we've seen in game 1. It's a really drastic turn. And then you got Jabetus, who's, again, playing with a sub. They're playing with Righty 1301725 instead of Jakuziak, and their playstyle's still there. It's counter-attacking football. It's always going to be there. And it's Palmas now, it's all on them, fortunately.
And with what you just said, I think if they would have played with Jakuziak, Jabetus would have been also a more aggressive roster. But probably now that they're playing with that sub righty, that they have to be like, okay, we don't want to have our normal aggressive playstyle or our normal standard playstyle, so let's go, as how you described it, in that counter football scenario, where they're just gonna be waiting and just don't make stupid mistakes. They're just gonna be like, we'll see the ball come to us, we'll make sure that we're ready for it. And so far it's working perfectly. Why keep your normal playstyle with the sub if you have no need? And now maybe not breakaway opportunity for Ivers, but Lugi will come back in the final second. And that's already a little bit of a better look for Palmas here in the first 30 seconds. But still 4.5 minutes to go and nothing is set in stone.
Definitely nothing set in stone in this game for sure. We've seen little comebacks, we've seen goal galores, goal fests, a little bit of luck, obviously. Crossbar, my favourite MVP of the year. It's a little bit open, it's unlucky as well. It's back to the corner for Hivers. Hivers got 0. I'm not entirely sure about all the boost amounts are, but I'm going to guess they're going to be low. Apart from Masters, obviously, because he's just took 100, and JPEG's got 100. It's an unlucky first touch, but it's a nice little 50 again. Masters booms that ball to the moon, but Silvers is there, like a little ray of light he is. And Hivers with a shot. It's a top right corner spectacle from Hivers.
Yeah, and I think that now we can see Palmas a little bit like how they were in game number 1. They bang the ball forward, make sure it's in a very awkward spot for the defense to get it clear. And then they're just, one of them is just waiting, and well, mostly it's gonna be Hivers. He's just waiting for the ball to come to him. Quick shot on target, puts it as high as possible, or just as close to the post to make it very awkward for defense. And right now, maybe gets a counter opportunity with the demo, but shot from Blugie will go towards the crossbar. Now Mass has a breakaway opportunity, but doesn't have any boost. Leads it for JPEG. JPEG has to back down, with Silver being in front of him. Drops, puts it now up. Massive backflip. Hivers tried to take control. Wins the 50 against Blugie. Ball slowly dropping in front of that. Silvers gets a beautiful clip. JPEG not the best to touch here. And Hivers has to save him, save his skin in the final second. And Palmas, they're in the lead, but I do think that Jabetus will get a counter goal pretty fast. And obviously, while I'm talking, it's slowly floating in. And it's already a tie game.
It was a little demo to a little bit of a solo bolo by Blugie after he takes 2 out instantly. It's a nice little shot from the wall. My favourite game, kickoffs again. I love this little game. It's again a hard one. Blugie should be following that, and he will be. He might have 0, but as we've seen before, you don't need 0 for them little touches. And again, more pressure. Who's on the ball first? It's Masters. But Righty didn't go. Righty booms it middle, but Hivers is there to meet him. Blugie with a touch and a flip reset. Nice little recovery from him right there. And Silvers is there. But Masters takes a shot on target. Blugie again covers it well. And again, it's back to time for the defense, boys. We're turtling up.
And I love one thing that I just saw from the Jabeda side is every time when they're rotating back and they are in that defensive position, they always make sure that they at least get a bump on the first man from Palmas that is trying to, rotate back into the third man or second man position. They just either get a bump or a demo on him, make sure that they have that numbers advantage, and they're using it so well, because just with that previous attack as well, Hivers was waiting in the corner while rotating out of the corner, he gets demoed immediately afterwards. And it just disrupts the entire offense. JPEG now tries to get a clear to set at least up another offense, but it's not working for them. Every time when they get the clear now, it gets countered. Maybe now Masters with beautiful can set up something, and at this point it's just bang the ball forward for Palmas. Let's see if we can follow up, and now a big bang for Silvers. Might get a goal, but Masters just in time to save their skin. But this will no, it will hit the post. Where's the follow up for Blugie? Blugie will follow up under the crossbar, and Jabedas take the lead.
It's a pass. It's all it was. It's always like be. It's a nice pass because Hivers would have got that, and Blugie just dimes it. Hivers probably didn't have much sense. There was not much he could do. He just had a hope and prayer that Blugie couldn't shoot. But my God, can he shoot? It's a neutral kickoff actually. Hivers Masters will win it, but Righty 1-3-0-1-7-2-5 will be there. But is Blugie's beat actually here? Silverstone needs to play a touch, but it's just a backboard. Then it's boomed out. It's met by a Palmas player, but it's just boom boom. Let me see here, AO.
And now Hivers big clear all the way into the other side. At least give it a little bit of time for some boost. Hivers, not Hivers, JPEG quick shot on target. Mass try to keep it in the corner. Hivers now takes it into here. Not the best touch, but he's still on the backboard. Maybe he can drop it mid or get a bump. Tries to go for the bump attempt. But Blugie will be there to help him out. Mass, not the best touch, just leaving it for Hivers, who tries to get it mid. And Palmas, they're slowly creating the opportunities to make sure that the ball stays in the corner, that they can keep their offense going, that they don't have to rotate all the way back. JPEG now winning the 50-50. Hivers quick ball towards the back.
That's a double bump.
Will he go in? No, he will not go in. Such a great opportunity for Palmas to at least equalize here in game number 4. But they cannot convert it towards the back of the net. And now it's for them just scrambling to at least get one more goal that we have in overtime. But so far, no luck.
You've got 5 seconds of your upper bracket life right now if you're Palmas. And who do you want on that ball right now? You want Hivers. Hivers with a 50. It's bumped.
Oh no!
It's still up in the air though. It's still up in the air. Masters with a nice little touch. It will keep it up though. It might be in their corner, but it is still up. And that's all you need. Silvers is trying to play for the ball. Hivers with another touch. Righty just wants to kill it. He's like, I'm the sub. I'm done. I've done my job. And you're damn right you have, son. You have done your job. And Jubatus wins. With a sub. Mad. I don't know if it's nerves from Palmists. I don't know what it is. But my God, Jubatus, did you play brilliantly?
Think for the Palmas side, it is what we said multiple times during this entire matchup, is that they were not ready to play against the Jabedas, that it was just sitting back in their own half, bang the ball forward and play that counter play style instead of being very aggressive from the start. And Jabedas, you did it perfectly here. You adjusted when it was needed, you changed your play style when it was needed, became a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more passive. Whatever the situation desired, they were there ready to change it. And they take it here in 4. And I think some people definitely expected Jabedas to take it, but to do it in a quite dominant fashion with 3 games in a row where they completely shut Palmas down, I don't think anyone actually expected that result.
I think it was more just a counter of playstyles. I genuinely think Jubatus is the mortal enemy of Palmas in terms of playstyles. Because you've got Palmas who just want to shoot, you know? They just love to shoot. They had 29 shots, they only had 8 saves, 15 demos, they all had a lot of pressure. 50-50 ball possession though, so it was always here about. Again, 50-50% field domination as well, it was always there or thereabouts. But Jubatus had 25 shots, he had 12 goals, it's just the more clinical. They had more saves as well, more really important saves, I add actually, as well. It's
Yeah.
unlucky.
Yeah, no, definitely regarding the saves, they were just I would call it maybe important, but they were just better timed on when they actually needed to make those clinical saves and when to do something else. And we do actually have a series MVP. It will be Blogi with, oh man, what an amount of points! 1,859 in total, 11 shots, 8 goals, 1 assist to his name, 4 saves, and 3 demos, which is actually the point amount is just insane. But also 11 shots in 4 games in total. Makes me curious to see how many the other two have, because you said 29 shots in total for Jabeda. So
Yeah.
if Blugi already did all of that on his own, that only leaves 16 for the other two.
It's okay. Mathematics is not for everyone. That's why we are
No.
casters. We don't need
Exactly.
numbers, we just use words.
Exactly.
But what a game. But luckily for Palmas, their life's not over. They're in the lower bracket, and I'm pretty sure they're coming back with a vengeance in that playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if they go 7-0, 5-0, 7-0. But they need to sort their back defense out now. I think that's a really big concern for them, and I hope it does change for them as well.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts, Tavish?
Any closing thoughts? Well, my prediction is wrong, so I'm curious to see how the rest of my bracket prediction is going. But obviously, massive congratulations to Jubatus, also to Fearless Echo, I should say it correctly, also for making it through throughout the lower bracket. So for them to be that 6 team in the conference to make it through, massive result as well. So we have all the teams from the play-ins that made it through towards playoffs. We're going to continue on Saturday to see who's going to be that champion, as we also have Challenger actually going on this week. So, yeah, my final thoughts is awesome stream. We do know our teams for the playoffs. I'm curious to see how that one's going to play out.
It should be a banger, chat. Don't miss it for the world. We stare off into the distance.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head. I can